Welcome to the fastest stop in town. Today we're Masechtas Yevamot Daf Kuf Yud Aleph. We are going to begin on Kuf Yud Amud Beis, 4 lines from the bottom. So we were learning about a person who was married to a katana and a chereshes, and we were trying to understand who he was more connected to. Possibly the katana because she will grow up. She'll be l'chlal deya, or the chereshes because she is currently a gedola and she's a bas bia. So we ended up saying that the takana Rav Chisda is that he would do yibum with the chereshes and then afterwards give her a get, and then the katana she should wait until she grows up, and once she's older then he'll perform chalitza. So in this the Gemara says, Rav Chisda Shmami na, we can derive from here that it must be that Ksava Rav holds Chereshes Kenuya Umishiyeres, that the Chereshes woman, she is acquired but only partially. Let's call it 50%. Katana Kenuya Ve'ena Kenuya. A katana is either 100% or 0%. So again, you have these two women. So you have the katana and the chereshes are very different. So you say by the katana, it's either 100% married or 0%. The chereshes is a partial kinyan. So therefore we say you should do yibum for the chereshes, which is for sure at least a partial kinyan, and then you give her a get. Since if let's say first your focus is the katana, so then the katana may be 100%, and therefore a stronger marriage than the chereshes. If the chereshes is the one that's, let's say, 100%, and katana is kenuya umishiyeres, the katana is like 50%, then chereshes amai kindness umotziya beget. Then why in that situation, as we said, would the chereshes, do you go marry her and then give her a get if it's 100%, possibly a 0% situation? As we continue to Kuf Yud Aleph Amud Aleph, Teisiv Gabe B'manavshach. You should be able to keep her as your wife B'manavshach. Why? If she's 100% your wife, then hakenuyi. So then it's fine. Therefore, it would be a good yibum, and therefore you shouldn't have to give her a get. Lav kenuyi. If let's say it was 0%, so hanachris ba'almahi. So she's just like a regular woman. So she'd be able to stay together with him and not need to leave with a get, since she was never married to the brother to begin with. So it must be that that's not the situation, but rather we're talking about where the chereshes is, if you will, 50%. So you can say the same question by the katana. Why do we make her wait and then do chalitza? Teisiv gabe. You should, again, maybe you should marry her. If let's say she's 100%, it was your brother's wife, then it's a good yibum. Ilav kanuihi nachri samalmahi. So then you can marry her. So again, why do you have to do chalitza? Imkein chereshes b'ma tepuk. Because if that would be the case, then the chereshes, how would she go out? In other words, you can't do yibum since you already did yibum with the katana. So if you're saying that the katana you could do yibum, so then what do you do with the chereshes? So you can't do yibum to the chereshes and she'll be stuck. You can't do yibum since you already did yibum on another co-wife. And you can't do yibum twice on a co-wife. So you need to do yibum first, and it has to be with the chereshes. Because we know chereshes, there's no din of chalitza. Says Rashi, halav bas chalitzahi. So therefore, this is a way of removing her by doing yibum and then a get. Omrav sheshes hachanam mistabra. This is also logical. Why? Kidikam taritz Rav Chisda ali b'Rav. Way he answered like this: the sign shnei achin nesuin shtei achayos yisomos. You have two brothers that were married to two sisters, and they were yisomos. They were not connected to their father. Katana v'chereshes. One girl was a katana, one was a chereshes. Meis bala shokatana. Now let's say the husband of the katana died. So therefore, all you have left is the brother who is married to the chereshes, and now this katana potentially is a Shemer Yavam. So Chereshes Yotze Beget, so the Chereshes he'll divorce, and the Katana Tamta Nachatad V'Tachlitz. So he says you should then do Chalitza. Meis Baal Shel Chereshes, and this is the point that we wish to make. What happens if it's the reverse? Let's say it was the husband of the Chereshes that died. So therefore you have the husband who's married to the Katana. So Katana Yotze Beget. So the Katana will go out with the get. The Chereshes Asur L'Olam. She's going to be Asur forever. Because again, you can't do Chalitza with her. So V'im Baal Chereshes, but if let's say you had Bia with the Chereshes, Noisan L'Get V'Hutra, then you could actually give her a get, and then she will be mutter. Now, if you want to tell me again that when we're talking about the chereshes, it's like she's 50% married. Katana kanuya v'ne kanuya, and the katana is like 100 versus 0%. Mishum hachi the chibal chereshes nasal get b'hutra. That's the reason why if you had bia with her, give her a get, and she's mutter. Why? The amrit mamanavshach. Katana kanuya he. If let's say the katana was Kenyan, hanafki mishum achosisha, so then she's going to be free because it's achosisha, it's your sister, it's your wife's sister. Ilav kanuya, if let's say you were not married, then shaper miyabim. So it was good that you did yibum, then you give a get. Now if the chereshes is the one is 100 and 0, katana kanuya mishieres, so kibal chereshes aminos and get v'hutra. Why would we say that you can just give her a get? Havila bia psula. This is considered to be an invalid bia. Ubia psula will patra. You can't do chalitza on a chereshes, and because it's achos isha, that's a bia psula. Fine. So Hamani Reb Nechemi Hidiyarmer bia psula poteres mechalitza. Actually, there is this sheet that says that even when it comes to a bia psula, the din is that it will pater you from chalitza. Now, Reb Nechemia ema seifa. The seifa says not like him. Misha inasishte yasaymais katana v'chereshes. A person who's married to 2 wives, a katana chereshes, umes, and then he dies. Ba yavam al katana. So his brother will do yibum with a katana, v'chazer bal chereshes, and then he will take the chereshes. Shiba achiv al chereshes, the brother will have bia with the chereshes, and then neser shtein olav, then they'll be both aser. So ketzat takana. So what's the takana? Chereshes here to be get. So again, you give the get to the chereshes. She can't do chalitza. Again, as we said before, katana tapnat shetak v'tachlitz. And then once the girl grows up, then you can do chalitza. Now, iyam b'shlam the chereshes kanuyim mishieres. If you want to tell me the chereshes is 50% married to you, katana kanuya v'ne kanuya, v'rabanan hi mishum hachi tapnat shetak v'tachlitz. That's the reason why we said they should wait and do chalitza. The dilma kadim will boil chereshes bereisha. Maybe you'll end up having bia with the chereshes first, v'havila bia the katana bia psula, and then the bia with the katana will be a bia psula. Aliyam Reb Nechemia if it's him, ha'omer bia psula patra. So l'chara she shouldn't need to wait to do chalitza as a bia psula will pater. El shmami no rabbanan hi shmami no. So therefore we see it's not like him, rather it's like the Rabbanon. So Amar Vashi Mereisha Nami Shmami no the Rabbanon he. How do we see that? The Katani Imbal a Chereshes, the person has bia with a Chereshes, nice and get b'hutra. Lo Katani Imbal Katana. Doesn't say if it had bia with a Katana, nice and get b'hutra. Since it is a bia psula. Now Imi Shomha area. That's actually not a raya. Chereshes Delesle Tekanta Da Tera Katani Tekanta Di Surah. So the fact when it comes to chereshes, there is no tekanta de hatera. So therefore, we mention a prohibited way out with doing with the isser of having bia. Katana de isla tekanta de hatera lo tani tekanta de isura. But when it comes to a katana, even though maybe it's true, maybe you could do bia and that would be enough. However, that's considered to be a tekanta de isura. We're not going to use and mention a takana which is wrong. So therefore, again, it's better that we should have her wait until she becomes a gedola, and then only afterwards for her to do chalitza. Question 10. Question 10. Misha Yinasu Yisaima Katana. One man, he's married to Yisaima, who's a katana and also a chareshes, umes, and that guy dies. Uva Yavam, then the brother comes, al shtayan, and has tashmish with both of them. Im pasal es rishayna umadua. Will that pasal the first one? So he says like this. Baal chareshes tchila. If let's say he had beer with the chareshes first, then nifsal b'bias katana. Then that will pasal with the beer of the katana. Shema katana knuya kula, because maybe the katana is actually fully married. The chareshes mishieres. Baal katana tchila, if he had beer with the katana first, nifsal b'bias chareshes, it will also pasal gzer atu ba al chareshes tchila. So therefore, in both situations, we say the din is that it will pasal either way, either because it mamish does or gzer ha atu ha. Okay. That's why it says here, Oshba'achav al chareshes nesur shtan olav. Having be with both of them will answer them. And therefore, that's not the takana, that's not the proper takana, but rather, as we suggested, that you should, that instead you should take the chareshes and then give her a get, and the katana you do chalitza. Okay. Next Mishnah. Misha inasu l'shtei yisaimas katano isumes. So you have a man who's married to two women who are katanos, and he dies. Okay. Uva yavam al rishayna. So a brother comes takes the first and has beer with the first one. The chazar bal shniya, and then he takes the second one, which of course is not supposed to happen. Oh shaba achav al shniya, or let's say another brother came and took the other girl, which again also shouldn't happen, because once yibum is done, that's it. As we continue to kuf yud alf amid beis, lo pasal as rishayna. So the din is, even though the second brother, or he had beer with the second girl, so that's not going to passel the first. Why? Shar biyasin shava, because their beers are equal. The rishayna knuyahi harihi ishto, it's considered his wife. The achrona biyaznus. The lav knuyahi harishnein nachraya nacharis atzlo shol haisa knil achiv. So mamanashach, it will not passel. The chain base chershais. So too, when it comes to two, if you would be married to two chereshas, in which the din is also the rabban and the guy dies, so the same din would apply. It will not passel the second bia will not passel the first. Katana v'chereshas. Let's say you have a katana and a chereshas. Ba yavam al katana. So let's say the yavam has bia with a katana, and then v'chazur ba'al ha-chereshas, and then he has bia with a chereshas second. Oh, sheba achal al-chereshas pasal es katana. So we see, as we mentioned already, again, if you have a katana and chereshas, the yavam is boyal al-katana, v'chazur ba'al ha-chereshas, it'll pasal the katana. Okay, so that's similar to what we just saw on question 10. Okay. Ba yavam al chareshes v'chazar ba'al katana, o shaba achav al katana pasal sa chareshes. So it's the same thing. There'll be the other way around. Also, will pasal the first. Pikachas v'chereshes. If let's say you have two wives, one's a pikachas, one's a chereshes, and the man died. Ba yavam al pikachas. So the yavam took the pikachas. V'chazar ba'al chereshes, which is a less degree of a marriage. Since her yibum worked, the first one worked because it was pikachas. It was a kedusha deraisa. So therefore the yibum actually worked. So the second one doesn't do anything. The other way around, so the second bia with a pikachas, which is a stronger relationship, will passel the first. For that matter, if they're not equal, because one's a gedayla katana, ba yavam al gedayla v'chazar ba'al katana, Now, let's say first he had bia with a gedola, which means it was a valid kedusha deraisa, and the man died, and then a yibum deraisa. So in that situation, the din is gedol katana ba yavam al gedola v'chazor ba'al katana or sheba'achav al katana lo pasels the gedola. So the din is it's not going to passel the gedola, because the gedola again was a strong marriage, just like the case if the pikachas was first, then the chereshes. So too if the gedola was first, then the katana. However, the other way around, if we're talking about a bo yavam al katana v'chazor ba'al gedola or sheba'achav al gedola pasels al katana. However, if it's the other way around, if he first took the katana, then the gedola, then it will passel the katana. However, lezer oimer malamdan katana chitima'in boy. We teach her to do miyun. Says Rashi, v'taker nisiu seha, to remove the nisuin v'yikayim es gedola, so that the first one just remains intact. Look at this Rashi, apostles the katana. Why? Mishum gezera dilma kadem uboyel chereshes beresha. Because if, let's say, you would have bia with the chereshes and then the pikachas, so that will passel the bia of the chereshes. So too when it comes to katana. The Aimer begemara v'afal gav de mamanav shachi sharile. Even though you can say mamanav shach, she should be mutter to you. However, shaynehi o kanuihi ha kanuihi. He loved kanuihi nachris balmehi. Even though mamanav shach, shouldn't be an issue, but it's a gezerah. Amr Rabbi Yehuda Mishmul halacha ki Rabbi Elazar v'chein Amr Rabbi Elazar halacha ki Rabbi Elazar. Tzvicha diyin mar baha kamaisa baha kamishmul halacha ki Rabbi Elazar mishum delo kayim mitzvahs yibum. Over there, you weren't mekayim the mitzvah of yibum. Abul baha di kayim mitzvahs yibum ema tervayu lifku beget. Over here, where both of them you can be mekayim the mitzvah of yibum, then maybe they should both go out with a get. So since this case was with two sisters, since without miyun, no yibum would occur. Yashmi'inan baha mishum de gedol ramya kamei aval idach lo tzricha, says Rashi. Diit mor bekamaisa. Gamay chayais. The case of the sisters. Mishum de kati lo kai mitzvahs yibum. Hilkach malamdan is a katana. When we say we teach the katana, so over there it was achas achas katana. So we teach the katana to do miyan, so that this way yibum could take place. Of a bahadi kaimetzas yibum b'shtein, yibum could take place with either of them. Emelo or mishmul halacha Rabbi Elazar elo oitzi shtein get. Maybe both of them should go out with a get. So no, we teach her to do miyan. Yavam katan. You have a man who is a boy who is a katan, shaba al yevama katana, and he has bia with a yevama who's a katana. Yigdu ze im ze, says Rashi, v'im ba legarsha enu yachol ad sheyagdol to get katan enu get. So he can't do anything. He can't give a get yet because he's not a gadol, so he has to wait. Ba yevama gedayla. Let's say this katan had bia with a yevama gedayla. Tigadlenu. So again, let him grow up. Hayavama she'amra b'tayich shloishim yoim lo nevalti kaifanoisa shiachatzla. If you have a yavama that said within 30 days lo nevalti, it did not have bia, we force chalitza to take place. Says Rashi, lo yavam forget yisayimim yavamim yotzim etachas yada v'hu oimer baltich. Let's see, he says, no, I did have tashmish with her. V'dayach beget. Koivenoisot lachleitz, we require chalitza. Dehine menes, she's believed, diatlasin yoimin, up until 30 days, moiki inish anashe muliboil. A person could literally hold themselves back from bia. That's what the Mishnah is not going to say. Again, hayavama shomer b'tayich shoshim yoim lo nevalti, let's say after 30 days, then we request chalitza. Why request? Says Rashi, hu nemon, because at that point, if it's more than 30 days, he's believed. He's not going to have held himself back from Bia. It was Manchi Moide, in a time in which Shehu Moide, where he admits that he didn't have tashmish with her. Even after 12 months, we're going to force him to give him. Let's say a person makes a neder against his yavama in the lifetime of her husband. If there's kavanah regarding this, I feel okay. Says Rashi, b'chai bala, v'lo nischavna lifter atzma himenu achar misas bala, el shahoyu lahem kas ze im ze. She hated her brother-in-law. So that was the whole point of this. So we'll understand this a little bit more when we go weiter. So lema masnis in the lokra meir. Why? The sanya katanu katana lochotzim l'mesiyam di Rameir. Rameir is chayshla for miyit, says you cannot do chalitza or yibum when you are a katan or a katana. And our Mishnah seems to be talking about the katan did yibum. Now, feel tim Rameir. Kiyam Rameir gadola l'katan ukatan l'gadol. L'chay minayu bia di isurahu. One of them is a bia isur, says Rashi, katan begadola, the gadola bas oinshin he. The gadola is a bas oinshin, she's old enough to get punished. V'shema katan yamati sris. And what if the katan's a sris? V'har nivla l'asula, shlo b'makam mitzvah. So she ended up having bia with someone who was shlo b'makam mitzvah. And it's an einish, because she's a gadola, or vice versa. Says Rashi, of a katan to katana, if he'll enu b'nei yibum, could go who's sris, the islandess, ain't kanisser. The katan oichel nevelos ain't based in mitzuvin lahafrishai, v'achinami shneim la b'nei einshin. Interestingly enough, says the Gemara, about katan abal katana, they're tivayu ki adadinin, who they're not punished anyway. So if let's say one's a sris, one's an islandess, lo omar, it doesn't say it. It's not going to make any distinctions. It's not going to make any distinctions between these things. It's not going to matter. The din will be that they could still do yibum. So therefore, when our Mishnah says a yavam katan shabal yavama katana, that's like Rameir. He will allow that. Katani bal yavam gedoyla tegad lenu. It says gedoyla. So clearly that's not like Rameir. So Chanina Choza ba shani. It's talking about b'diavad, that he already did it. It's not talking about l'chatchila. Ayvaha tigad lenu kaimer. The kol biu biyadi surahu. It sounds not like we're talking about a b'diavad situation. It's telling l'chatchila. You're right. El mechvorta masnis no Rameir. Must be our Mishnah is not like Rameir. Now karikan l'hokim l'achim shame. Now we know there's a pasuk that tells us the whole purpose of yibum is to have a child. V'hai labar hachihu. Why would we think that a katan could do yibum with a katana? They can't have kids. So Rabbi Omer Kra Yevamot Yavoleha Koldahu. It's a Gzeres HaKasav. Rabbi Omer Belav Hachi Nami Lo Matzas Amrit. Mi'iki Mi did the hashda Sirle Ulabasar Shait Sharia. Does it make sense that now it's asr for the katan the katana to do, and then later on it becomes mutter? No. So therefore it must be that it's allowed to be done now. I v'hamer Rabbi Yehuda Marav kol yavam shena ni kari b'shas nefila yavam yavo aleha. If we don't have these words about yavam yavo aleha, harihi ke'eshazach sheish rabanim basura. So ve'im hachinami. Somer Krog Yeshu Achim Yachtav Nafilu Ben Yoim Echad, which mashma even one day l'chara. That would be enough. Okay, let's look at question 11. Ketzad Kainis Yavam Katan Es Yevimta Bahar Enu Bar Yibum Minachseb Hakim Shem Achiv. So again, either Rabbi says the pasuk is Yavam Yavo Ilaha is Koldahu. Rava says, Im katan eno bar gibum af kishiyigdal aser. If a katan couldn't have yibum, then even when he gets older, it should be aser. Kivan shenes v'chulu. The Torah Amr kiyeshu achim nefil ben yoim echad. So therefore, it's allowed. Yevamot she'amru b'tarich shloishim yoim. So we make a distinction between 30 days, whether or not, if she says, we didn't have bia, and he said, it's not true, I did, that we're going to believe her within the first 30 days, but not afterwards. Mantana diad tlasin yoimin, up until 30 days, moikim inish anafshi, a person could hold himself in bia. Rav Yochanan and Rav Meir, hidasanya, tainis besulim, kol shloishim yoim. Rav Meir. What does that mean? In order to be able to lose her ksuba, the taina of besulim, that you did not find besulim, is for 30 days. It says Rashi, you're believed to say I did not have bia until now. So you could come up with tainas besulim all the way up until 30 days. Rabbi Yosi Omer, Nistral altar, once they're secluded, it's immediately. Well, Nesra afal acher kamashanim. So it says Rashi, Nistral altar, who toyin, him toyin la'achar zman enu neman. If he makes this claim after they've been secluded, it doesn't work. Devadi mereisha boil. He must have had bia right away. Umatzah basula. V'shasak, he was quiet. V'hashtahu de rasach Allah. For some reason now he's angry at her. So if he was secluded, so right away, that's it. If it was not secluded, achar kamashanim. You can have tainas besul many years later because you were never with her. Rabbi Omer fil temer Rav Yosi. Ad kan loikem Rav Yosi hasam el barusasa de gayisba. That's only referring to your wife because you're close to her. Although Eishes Achiv, when it comes to your brother's wife, as we continue to Kuf Yud Beis Amud Aleph, Mivzaz bozes mine. Says Rashi, Boish himenu. You are embarrassed from her. So therefore, it's lav dafka when we say this 30-day cutoff is dafka like the sheet of Rav Meir, but Rav Yosi, once you've secluded, that's it. Maybe not. Maybe seclusion is only when it's your wife. However, when it comes to Eishes Achiv, the din is different. I'm going to stop there. Let's see if we have a couple more questions. TA4. Yavam katan shabal yavama katana yigdlu zeh im zeh menayin lanu shatayra asra katan mishum delabar hakama shame. So it's basically the same we said, because the im came to aser alamas mishum shenesra shachas. If she's aser for one moment, that's it. So it's very similar to the question that we had before, TA4. TB4. Misha Yanasili Saima Katana Ulchareshes Umes. Person was married to a katana in a chareshes, the man died. Uva Yavam Al Shtehen Ha'im Pasal Esri Shaina. Will he pasal them? So the answer is Ba Chareshes Tchila. If you had bia with the chareshes first, Nisal Babia Katana. Ba Katana Tchila, Nisal Babia Chareshes. So as we said before, each one will become pasal over the other. Adkan.